The Night's Watch is a sworn brotherhood dedicated to guarding the Wall, the vast ice barrier in the far north. Its role is to defend the realm against threats from beyond, including wildlings and supernatural beings. Members swear lifelong oaths, renouncing family, titles, and inheritance. Recruitment comes mainly through criminals offered the Wall as punishment, though some volunteers join seeking honor. New recruits are trained and assigned to one of three branches. Rangers, who patrol beyond the Wall. There are builders, who maintain defenses, and stewards, who handle supplies and administration. The Watch is led by a Lord Commander, elected by the brothers. Beneath him are senior officers for each division. Although sworn to neutrality, the Watch depends on the support of Southern Lords for supplies. Once regarded as an elite order, by the series events, it struggles with dwindling numbers and fading prestige. Yet, its mission remains vital to the realm's survival. The wildlings, or free folk, live north of the Wall and reject the authority of Southern kings. They value independence and self-rule, calling Southerners kneelers for submitting to lords. Their society is fragmented into clans and tribes, each with distinct traditions. Some are nomadic hunters, others farm or raid, and groups like the Thens are more organized. Giants also live among them and occasionally ally with humans. In times of crisis, the free folk unite under a king beyond the Wall, chosen for strength and charisma, not bloodline. Leaders like Mance Rayder rallied thousands, but such unity is fragile, as personal freedom is central to wildling culture. Many follow the old gods of the forest, worshipping at weirwood trees. To the Seven Kingdoms, they appear as enemies or savages. Yet they see themselves as free people, surviving in a harsh land, resisting walls and rulers who seek to control them. The maesters are a scholarly order, dedicated to knowledge, healing, and service throughout Westeros. They are trained at the Citadel in Old Town, where novices study subjects such as medicine, history, ravenry, and alchemy. Each completed discipline earns a link of metal, and a full chain marks one as a maester. Once qualified, maesters are assigned to noble houses or castles, where they act as advisors, physicians, and record keepers. Unlike septons, they serve knowledge rather than faith. And unlike knights, they serve all houses impartially. Their neutrality is central to their identity, as they are sworn to the realm, not to personal ambition. At court, they maintain communication through ravens, preserve histories, and provide scientific counsel. While respected for learning, they are sometimes distrusted for skepticism toward magic and prophecy. The maesters represent the intellectual backbone of Westeros, ensuring continuity of knowledge even amid war and political upheaval. The White Walkers are an ancient race of supernatural beings created by the Children of the Forest during their early war with the First Men. By embedding ice magic into a human, they birthed the first White Walker, who became the Night King. White Walkers are tall, inhuman figures with pale skin and glowing blue eyes. Their presence freezes the air, and they wield weapons of enchanted ice capable of shattering steel. They command immense strength and speed, making them nearly impossible to fight. Only dragonglass, Valyrian steel, or dragonfire can kill them. Few in number but incredibly powerful, they lead the undead hordes of whites in a campaign of destruction. Legends describe their return as the beginning of the Long Night, an age of endless winter. Their advance south represents an existential threat that transcends politics, leaving only survival as the concern of the living. Whites are the undead soldiers raised and controlled by the White Walkers. Any corpse, whether human, animal, or giant, can be turned into a white if a walker or the Night King is nearby. They retain no memory of their former life, functioning only as mindless weapons of war. Their greatest danger lies in numbers. Every fallen warrior adds to the army of the dead. In battle, the slain often rise again within moments, overwhelming enemies through attrition. Whites are not easily killed. Blades may wound them, but only fire ensures permanent destruction. Dragonglass and Valyrian steel can also disable them, but burning remains the most effective method. Their silence, relentlessness, and inability to feel fear make them especially terrifying opponents. The White Walkers' ability to raise endless whites turns every battlefield into a recruitment ground, steadily expanding their forces with each victory or massacre. The Small Council is the monarch's advisory body and the administrative core of the Seven Kingdoms. It manages finances, laws, military matters, and intelligence. The Hand of the King is its most powerful member, often ruling in the monarch's place. Other key positions include the Master of Coin, who oversees the treasury, the Master of Laws, who handles justice, the Master of Ships, who commands the navy, the Master of Whisperers, who manages espionage, and the Grand Maester, who provides counsel in medicine and scholarship. The Small Council meets in the Red Keep at King's Landing. Its effectiveness depends heavily on the ruler and the unity of its members. Often, it becomes a battleground for political maneuvering, corruption, and personal ambition. While intended as a governing tool to stabilize the realm, its success or failure reflects the strengths and weaknesses of the ruling monarch. The Faith of the Seven is the dominant religion in most of Westeros. It worships one god with 7 aspects: the Father, Mother, Warrior, Maiden, Smith, Crone, and Stranger. Each represents a principle: justice, compassion, strength, purity, creation, wisdom, and death. Worship is organized through septs, where septons and septas guide communities. At its center is the Great Sept of Baelor in King's Landing, led by the High Septon. Beyond spirituality, the faith plays a major political role. It has raised military orders known as the Faith Militant, including the Warriors' Sons and Poor Fellows, who enforce its power. During times of unrest, leaders like the High Sparrow challenged royal authority directly, proving the faith's influence over both nobles and common people. While the North and other regions follow different traditions, the Faith of the Seven remains the largest religious institution, entwined with politics and daily life. The Faceless Men are a guild of assassins based in Braavos, dedicated to the many-faced god, who embodies death in all forms. They see death as a gift and deliver it as an act of religious devotion. Their headquarters, the House of Black and White, functions both as a temple and as a base for their operations. Hiring them is costly, often requiring wealth or sacrifice. But once a contract is accepted, they never fail. Members undergo harsh training to shed personal identity, learning stealth, poisons, and the magical art of wearing the faces of the dead, allowing them to disguise themselves perfectly. Recruits are taught to abandon their former lives and become no one. The Faceless Men's influence extends across continents, as their reputation ensures fear and respect. To rulers and nobles, they represent the inevitability of death, arriving unseen and unstoppable when their god demands. The Dothraki are a nomadic warrior people who roam the central grasslands of Essos, known as the Dothraki Sea. Horses are sacred in their culture, central to identity, warfare, and spirituality. A Dothraki's worth is measured by his riding and fighting ability. Their society is organized into khalasars, tribes led by a khal. Each khalasar includes warriors, their families, slaves, and herds. A khal's authority depends on personal strength, and when he dies, the khalasar often fragments unless a strong successor emerges. Elite warriors called blood riders serve as a khal's sworn companions, bound to die with him. Widows of khals live in Vaes Dothrak as the Doge Khaleen, spiritual figures who preserve tradition. The Dothraki disdain permanent cities, seeing them as weak. Instead, they raid settlements for slaves and wealth, honoring the Great Stallion, their central deity. Their way of life reflects both harsh survival and a strict warrior code. The Unsullied are an army of slave soldiers bred and trained in Astapor. Taken as boys, they endure brutal conditioning that erases fear and individuality. Their training includes physical endurance, spear and shield combat, and obedience to death. Only a fraction survive, but those who do become disciplined warriors known for unshakable loyalty. Unlike mercenaries, they do not loot or rape, making them uniquely reliable. They fight in tight formations, rarely breaking ranks even under overwhelming odds. Masters prize them for their efficiency, as they execute orders without hesitation. Their discipline, not brute strength, makes them dangerous. As a phalanx, they can withstand and crush larger, disorganized forces. While bred for slavery, the Unsullied can also serve freely, as shown when Daenerys Targaryen liberated them. They symbolize the transformation of men into weapons, their identity reduced to obedience, discipline, and the collective strength of their formation. The Ironborn inhabit the harsh Iron Islands off Westeros' western coast. Their culture is shaped by seafaring and raiding, following the old way, which values taking wealth by force rather than through trade or labor. Leadership belongs to the Lord of the Iron Islands, often from House Greyjoy, though some rulers are chosen through a kingsmoot where captains acclaim the strongest candidate. Their religion is central to their identity. They worship the drowned god, who embodies death and rebirth through the sea. Priests called drowned men perform rituals of drowning and resuscitation, symbolizing faith. The phrase, "what is dead may never die," captures their belief in resilience and defiance. The Ironborn Navy gives them power far beyond their population, enabling swift coastal raids. Yet their disdain for farming, trade, and lasting rule isolates them. Bound to their sea and faith, they remain fierce but limited in influence. The Brotherhood without banners formed during the War of the Five Kings. Initially sent to capture Sir Gregor Clegane, they became an outlaw band after Eddard Stark's fall. Rejecting loyalty to kings, they swore to protect the small folk caught in war. Under Beric Dondarrion, resurrected multiple times by the Red Priest Thoros of Myr, the Brotherhood earned fame as defenders of the weak. They fought as guerrillas, striking quickly and vanishing into the wilderness, supported by villagers who saw them as protectors. However, their nature shifted when Lady Stoneheart, the reanimated Catelyn Stark, took command. Under her, the Brotherhood turned from justice to vengeance, executing Freys and Lannister allies mercilessly. Though never large, the Brotherhood represents resistance against tyranny and the desperation of common people during chaos. They embody both the hope of justice without crowns and the danger of ideals corrupted into ruthless retribution.